The core mechanics of telekinesis. Since ancient myth, humanity has imagined a power to shape the physical world using nothing but thought. We call it telekinesis, or more formally in parapsychology, psychokinesis (PK). But what is this idea, stripped down to its bare components? At its heart, every physical action is governed by the exchange of fundamental forces: gravity, electromagnetism, and nuclear forces. Telekinesis proposes a fifth unseen force. The ultimate puzzle is not what PK does, but how it proposes to work. You are asking your intention an electrical and chemical pattern in your brain to bypass all known mechanical, thermal, and electromagnetic processes, and directly modify the state of an object. The historical quest from to science lab through scientific quest began in the 1930s with parapsychologist G.B. Rhine at Duke University. Rhine sought to strip the phenomenon of theatrical embellishment and test its most elementary form, which he termed micro-PK, the ability to influence chance. His famous experiments involved subjects attempting to mentally influence the outcome of dice rolls. If a person could consistently beat the laws of probability, even by a tiny fraction, it would suggest an objective, measurable influence of the mind on a random physical system. Rhine's results, while statistically suggestive, were later heavily criticized due to the possibility of flawed methodology and sensory leakage, a problem that plagued the field for decades. Investigation, the quantum and the computer's pursuit of micro-PK continued into the late 20th century. At Princeton University, the PEAR lab developed sophisticated random event generators, or regs. These machines produce completely random sequences of ones and zeros, based on true quantum noise. Subjects would sit at the machine and simply intend for the output to favor more ones or more zeros. The research found minute but statistically anomalous deviations in the intended direction. This led some researchers to hypothesize a connection with quantum mechanics. At the subatomic level, particles behave strangely, existing as waves of probability until observed. Is it possible that human consciousness, through attention and intention, interacts with matter at this foundational level, nudging the probability wave of a quantum system? This remains a highly debated but fascinating theoretical avenue. The personal claim, a moment of witness in the labs. The most powerful arguments for PK often come from personal experience. Take, for example, the celebrated author and doctor Michael Crichton. In his autobiography, Travels, he recounts attending a spoon-bending party, a phenomenon popularized by claimants like Uri Geller. Crichton described a woman in attendance who was skeptical and even uncomfortable with the process. She was rubbing a spoon and saying, "I just don't see how it can work, yet." Crichton looked down and saw the spoon in her hands, bending, for a person trained in science and observational rigor. Such an event becomes a data point that defies explanation, creating a powerful, first-hand account of something apparently impossible. The scientific reality, the foundation of skepticism despite the anecdotal claims and the suggestive statistical anomalies. The wider scientific community maintains strong skepticism. This is not out of closed-mindedness, but because the existence of PK would violate one of the most bedrock concepts of the universe, the conservation of energy. To move a single object, even a feather, requires a transfer of energy. For your mind to do this, your thoughts would have to generate or channel this energy, transferring it to the physical object across a distance. No known mechanism allows the faint bioelectrical signals of the brain to generate a force that strong. As scientists like Carl Sagan and Richard Feynman have pointed out, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. The historical record is unfortunately riddled with proven hoaxes and experimental results that cannot be reliably replicated, a core requirement of all legitimate science. For many, the case remains simple: if your mind could move objects, it would be happening all the time, everywhere. Conclusion and intuitive question. Study of mind over matter presents a profound tension between our deepest intuitions about consciousness and the proven laws of physics. Whether you view telekinesis as a genuine anomaly waiting for a quantum explanation, or a historical pattern of wishful thinking and illusion, it forces us to ask, what exactly is the boundary between the inner world of our thoughts and the outer world of objective reality? If every thought you have is an electrical impulse, a tiny directed current of energy, and every object is made of the same vibrating particles. The intuitive telekinetic question for the viewer is this: when you look at a simple object resting on a table, do you fundamentally believe that the energetic pattern of your focused intention could influence that object's atoms before you even attempt to touch it?